Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of January 26th, Sunday, through Saturday to come, February 1st. We're going to get right into it, beginning with the dice. And the first is eat cake. The second is forget it. And lastly, stay in bed. Eat cake could be a celebration. Happy birthday to any Aquarians celebrating this week. It could be a celebration of love, maybe even a reconciliation. We have the Six of Cups here, upright, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, and romanticizing the past. This can always be about exes coming back or people, friends and things coming back, maybe develop a deeper relationship with them, or healing some situation from your past that allows you to move forward with a relationship, and or soulmates. Spirit says, weekend away, maybe for the Super Bowl. I was actually thinking of doing a weekend away. That wedding that I was asked to perform is in LA. So I may, it's the choice is via Skype or going there. So I'm trying to see what is the best thing. But, you know, that could be for me. Others of you may be planning on going away, maybe because of the Super Bowl. Maybe that's going to enable you to get together with somebody. If you're invited to an event, again, even if it's, you don't have to travel, if it's just like local travel, you go to a friend's house, you're invited to a Super Bowl party or something like that, definitely attend, because that's going to be a way to meet people. If you're single, I'm not trying to break up any relationships that already exist. Spirit says 29. 29 also came up in the general reading. 29 is all about spiritual partnership. And lastly, no, which I think also is from the results from the general reading as well. So they're repeating here. So again, I'm starting with the Six of Cups or Six of Water. Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit, which represents the sign of Virgo. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. This is about clarity. Introspection can be representative of like some sort of officiate, like, maybe somebody performing a wedding, a lawyer or something, a judge. And love from the Universal Love Oracle. I didn't realize sorrow was back here behind it. We could be moving through some sadness though, right? Leaving that in the past. Maybe that's why the Six of Water is here. And we're just going to move on in love. What I had failed to mention during the, or even to recall, honestly, when I was doing the general reading, is that Monday, the 27th, there's a transit between Venus, the planet of love, and Neptune, the planet of higher love. So Venus, the ruler of the signs of Libra, Taurus, and Gemini, and Neptune, the ruler of the sign of Pisces, coming together. So again, Venus is love in general, and Neptune is higher love, unconditional love, like the deepest, innermost, subconscious feelings that we may have. So Monday is a really big day for love. And again, it may require us to leave some stuff in the past because it is attached to our deepermost and innermost feelings. Maybe it involves some introspection and a decision as to whether or not we're willing to revisit something. All right, going to the cards, we have a specific love focus, or the overall focus for each element: fire, earth, air, and water. So beginning with fire, you have the Two of Pentacles. And it's funny because in the general reading, you had the devil here. And I said that, I wasn't feeling negatively about the devil. If anything, some of you might be working too much. And that may be why the Two of Pentacles is here. Like you're not finding time necessarily for your relationship. Those of you who have existing commitments, and you want to put your relationship on the top of your list of priorities, right? You want to put yourself on the top of your list of priorities. And, don't tell yourself that you're ready for a relationship and a commitment if you're not. Those of you who are considering entering one or who are single and have been looking, If you're just wanting to date, have a good time, but also work and maybe not put too much focus on somebody, then don't feel like you have to be boxed in thinking about that devil that showed up in the general reading. Don't feel like you have to be boxed in, like you're trapped and you have to enter a commitment. You have to enter a relationship. You do not have to. And your partner may feel the same way because we have this. Ooh, okay. We have this overall energy of the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups shows up. It means like in terms of love, and this is for everybody. If you're like worried about your relationship or relationships in general, like, am I ever going to have one? Am I going to be single in my life and just, die an old woman or old man or whatever, alone? No. If you have an interest, a love interest, or are in a committed relationship, and the Ten of Cups shows up upright in relation to love, it means that you guys are on the same page. If you haven't made an actual commitment and entered a relationship like formally, officially and stuff, that time will come. So maybe again, you're not ready. If you're not ready, then don't force it and trust that your partner sort of feels the same way. I think he blocked me now, but I have been talking to a Gemini male for 2 or 3 years now online. We did in the early we did some video chat and stuff like that. But never, we just never came together. We were on the same page. Like, nice to talk to. I'm sure he felt the same way about me. Like, we both were in it, but he's finally stopped. He probably met somebody or had a relationship or whatever that he's putting real effort into. But it never bothered me that he didn't put effort into ours because we didn't have one. You know what I mean? It was so. Contrarily, or more positively, if you do have one and you're on the same page and you're not able to get together because you're both working so hard, trust that you both want to get together and trust that you both will be committed to putting yourselves on that priority list and working it out. You're not alone. Now, under this Ten of Cups, also for everybody, is Major Arcana card 3, the Empress, Venus. This card represents the planet Venus. And again, Libra, Taurus, Gemini also means we are, extremely fertile. Those of you who been trying to get pregnant, this could be a good time for you. Some of you may be finding that you're pregnant anyway. Some of you who are already pregnant may be giving birth this week. And, for others, this is about just being very feminine and sort of tapping into that feminine energy that we have and just being very sexy and attractive. And you masculine too, you males too, just being very, very attractive and confident and full of fresh energy and ready for new stuff, right? Feel ready for new adventures and experiences and people, maybe even dating again, multiple people and not necessarily entering a relationship, getting back to the fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Also, if any of you have any air, and even if you don't, your card is sitting here atop the Queen of Air. The Queen of Air can mean don't force something, The only negative thing about the Queen of Air upright as it relates to love is that she can be too pushy. We can be too pushy, and forceful and maybe not allowing it to be organic. And that's probably something that some of us need to quell and really, put some effort into fixing because people think that we are what they call fickle, and it's not that. It's that when we like to make sure we're really, really in love before we say it. And we don't like to say it if it's not true. And so we take our time in that regard in speaking up. And so some people may feel like we don't feel the same way or we're not interested. And that's not true. You're on the same page. So if one is interested, the other one is with the Ten of Cups. But also, when we are super interested and, just really, really, if we've really, really fallen for you, we can OD. on that, right? And just go too hard. And so that's the Queen of Swords' danger. So I just feel like this energy could potentially be extending to the fire signs, and they could be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, who's at a potential, has the potential risk of like pushing too hard and forcing something rather than allowing it to fall into place, in divine time, as they say, or allowing for an actual communication, conversation between the two where there's a mutual agreement to move forward in whatever way it's decided. We can't on our own just sort of force it to happen. Now, on another positive note, your card is sitting next to the Two of Wands in reverse. Two of Wands is the divine union or twin flame card of the tarot. First and foremost, I got to put that out there as it relates to love. But also, Two of Wands in reverse means that you can expect your relationship to deepen and even become committed. If that's what you want. If you're looking for love, you're single, new relationships are very, very likely to begin soon. Again, with people with whom you are on the same page. There's going to be reciprocity. There's going to be like minds. There's going to be similar interests. And, you may have your pick because you are hot right now. So I was just trying to pick up this card, and I revealed some card all the way under here. Well, not some card. I know what the card is. It is the Three of Swords. So this might be what's keeping some people from moving forward, or what's making some people maybe fearful of entering a relationship. Actually, I didn't mention to you guys, after the general reading, I was moved to look at the next two Universal Love Oracle cards, and one was Fear, which I've been talking about all night in that general, and the other one was the Universal Heart, which is a depiction of Jesus Christ that's in that deck. So I just thought that was very interesting. Some of us, there's a new relationship that wants to happen. We maybe even have been manifesting it. Like we're putting our energy towards something coming. And so here it is. It's coming. But we're restricting ourselves because of old pain. Something from the past. Maybe still affecting us. Maybe we're afraid to try something again or to try something new. Because what if we get hurt again? That's real air signy too. Like you burn me once. All right. And that's it. Like never again will you see me sweat and certainly not cry. I'm going to stand here and like buck up. And that can keep you from love. It's how we are, but I'm not saying that it's good. Now with Death being the card that's next, I'm sorry, the Fool was next. This is interesting too because these cards came up in the general reading. The Fool, all about taking a chance. So yeah, it's right here atop this Three of Swords. I think again the Three of Swords is about being afraid to take a chance. Maybe because something went bad, a previous time. But Death in reverse says change is coming, whether you like it or not. Change is coming, and it's best that you flow organically like the Queen of Swords, or like I said to the Queen of Swords, with the change. There's so much new abundance here for you. And you can't stop that either, right? That's coming. You are in charge of or responsible for your actions and your reaction. That's the only thing you can control. So the energy is coming. What are you going to do with it, if anything? Right? That part is your choice, your free will. But we're surrounded by love. So, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Those of you in a relationship, you can expect it again to deepen. Your relationship is ascending, as they say. And maybe even become committed if you're not committed. If you've, just been dating sort of casually or something, which is cool too. If you're looking for a new relationship again, that's probably like right around the corner for you. And you may have several options or be attractive to several people with the Empress showing up there. Just enjoy, right? The time. It's a magical time. Think about the magician that's also sitting there. You manifested this. You asked for it. You prayed for it. Here it is. So it's up to you to do the right thing with it now. If you or someone who's feeling lonely, because I always say I might be alone. I'm not lonely. I might be single. But I'm not like sitting here miserable or whatever. But some people are feeling lonely. And, we want to support them too. sometimes when you're like that, you can't imagine that there's possibly love out there for you. There's possibly anything, certainly not on the horizon. Like I'm saying, it's right around the corner. You can't imagine that there's something right there for you. But yes, for you too. So all you got to do is make sure that you're putting yourself where people can meet you. And again, so if you're invited to some sort of something this week, some sort of social event, some of you will be invited to Super Bowl parties or end up hosting them yourself or going to a local sports bar or something. And that may be, when you get to meet somebody like the opportune time. But love is unlikely to come to your house, knocking on your door. I mean, it can happen, They say, some things are impossible for man, but with God or the universe, like all is possible. So it could happen, but it's not likely, right? That somebody's going to knock on your door and say, "Hey, God sent me or the universe sent me. Let's go out." So you're going to have to make sure that you're putting yourself out there if that's what you want. Air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is the Queen of Swords, and first and foremost, I want to say, it can be representative of the fact that we're in our full power this week. The Aquarius energy has sort of taken over the airwaves and everything else. Ceres enters Aquarius this week. The sun is in Aquarius. The moon, major transit, the new moon was just in Aquarius. Mercury's in Aquarius, the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. So there's so much just really powerful energy there. And that can be what we're dealing with. We just got a full power surge from, like our ruling element. And, that may be all it is. But again, the Queen of Swords can also be showing up to warn you or remind you that you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Or is that how it goes? Yeah, that's how it goes. So don't be too pushy. Allow it to be organic. Allow it to be natural. You may be like super OD nurturing. And it's sort of ironic, right? Because with these air signs, people say, "Oh, you're cold as ice." Yeah, but just really like a helicopter mom. Also, we can be, even with our mates, so with our boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands or wives too. And you may want to be. I'm not saying don't do that because your mate likes that too. Again, you're on the same page too. But don't do it to the point where where it becomes like something codependent or toxic, and you're at risk of pushing them away. Just sort of, it might be difficult for me to ask you to be your own barometer, and try to keep in mind when too much is too much. But just gotta set some boundaries and then not cross them. Air signs. Also, speaking of crossing boundaries, when the Queen of Swords upright shows up, there may be a mother, an actual mother, not you, an actual mother or mother-like figure. So maybe like a mother-in-law or, somebody else that's connected. Sometimes it's a big sister or some other nosy body who is interfering in your relationship this week. It could be inadvertent. She might not mean to, could just be her way, right? Or she steps over the boundary that you got to lay down. So yeah, you got to set the boundaries, and then you got to make sure that not only do you not, cross them, you don't allow anybody else to either. Water signs. Your card is the Seven of Pentacles. And yesterday in the general reading, your card was, you were in your own element too. Your card was the King of Cups in reverse. And I talked about how he's the type of person who's ready to risk it all for whatever it is he wants. So, that was the general reading. I wasn't just talking about love. I talked about all areas of life. I said for his business, for his work, for his relationships, whatever. He's just ready to throw caution to the wind and just say, screw it all, marry me or whatever the case is. And then I went into how also, because I was sensing in the cards and everything else, the energy that was coming up, fear for a lot of people. And I went into the differences and perhaps somebody being younger than you. Because I think we also had an overall energy of the Page of Cups. So it was indicative of potentially a younger water sign and maybe an older person. or maybe one is more mature, more spiritually advanced than the other, or something like that. The Seven of Pentacles says that, in reverse, says that like we may be focusing too much on the type of person that either we're interested in, we're committed to, but that we're having problems because we're too focused on like the superficiality of it all, which is kind of ironic for you guys. Like I was saying, we had some ironic situations going on with us being like sort of helicopter momish. It's ironic for you because you are, the deep feeling ones, right? The emotional ones that, at the same time you would sort of be standoffish for superficial reasons because, somebody isn't as perfect as, you would have them be. Well, you're not either. Okay, you're not perfect either. And so it's important to remember that, actually. And, if you're single and you just feel like you're constantly looking for, relationships, casting out the net, as they say, throwing out the rod, and coming with, ending up with nothing, coming back empty, not reeling anything in, then you got to consider maybe, have you been unrealistic? Have you been, looking for somebody that's too perfect? I'm not going to say, like your standards are too high and stuff like that, because, everybody deserves the best. Water signs and every other element, everybody, everybody, period, deserves the best. We should have high standards. But perfection is unfair to ask. So, you may have to fall back on that a little bit. And that maybe it's crossing the Two of Pentacles, which again could be about finding difficulty to, to meet, but maybe it's not a physical meet. Maybe it's more of a metaphorical meet. Finding difficulty meeting in that space of reciprocity and mutual respect and support, because one is sort of holding the other in judgment, and that one that's holding the other in judgment would be you. With the Seven of Pentacles there. So, maybe you want to do some introspection. This is for all of us too. This Hermit, maybe about going within and realizing that, have I been asking too much in that sense? And this too is here with a 7. I had a dream about 7 last night. All right, I won't go into that. I don't know how it may be linked, if it is at all. So I'll leave that there for now. Yeah, but you may have like an over rationalized or idealized idea of what the right person for you looks like, and just need to, figure out if that's the case or not. All right, so we know our focus. And again, with that 2 of Wands, it was most directly for the earth signs, but with it, crossing everything and sitting on top of everything, this could potentially be anybody's relationship deepening. And so, for example, again, with the air, with the Queen of Swords upright, your relationship has the potential to allow it to deepen by itself. Just because you feel it, and you're excited because you feel, the anticipation is building and it's growing, and we're getting, we're connecting on a new level. Don't you allow that to cause you to become pushy, because then you're at risk of ruining it. So the other signs, you'll just elements, you'll apply what I told you about your element to it. Now look at this. Went to pick up the pile, left the 2 of Swords in reverse. On the table. 2 of Swords is about the need to make a decision. So it represents for me the energy of indecision. Because I need to make a decision, but I'm not making it. Why am I not making it? Because I'm avoiding it. It's like if I always say, like, if I don't open my bills, I won't have to pay them. It doesn't really work that way. Sounds good, but it doesn't really work that way. 2 of Swords, when it shows up, usually has to do with not only the need to make a decision, but the reason we're stuck, the reason we're having difficulty making it, is because of we're worried about what other people might think. And this came up on both the general and the Aquarius new moon reading, actually. Worried about, Maybe again with your mother, that mother figure, just, talking about the air sign, that mother figure, what do they think? The mother-in-law, that pushy person, society, friends, family, whatever it is. Children, what are they going to think if I, marry a new man that's not their father, or, new woman that's not their father? Or sometimes bisexuality comes up with the Two of Swords too. What are people going to think about, me not being heterosexual, me being, LGBTQ? So, is it all right for me to come out of the closet? Like all these kind of things. So instead we're avoiding a decision. But I think it's definitely necessary that we make one. There's that King of Cups in reverse I was talking about too. This is interesting. Okay, so behind him is the Seven of Swords in reverse. That can be about taking back like control and recovering something. So if we were lacking confidence, maybe confidence building. Here's another Six of Cups like we have here. Upright. So about people coming back from your past, maybe even exes and people reuniting, potentially with soulmates. And here's a Hermit. He's in reverse, indicative of having already done this introspection and already reached some sort of clarity and knowing what the next move needs to be. All right, so I'm going to do another spread. Oh, there's the Page of Cups too, but he's upside down now. He was upright, our overall energy in the general. Okay, so I guess we're meant to see these two too. It is abundance, which is representative of earth energy for me. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and of course Venus. And surrender. Surrender. See, her eyes are closed. This is risk taking too. This is, I'm going to just go with the flow. And as the universe or, God guides me, or my guides, whatever it is in which you believe, is your driving force, you're just going to go with the flow with that force. This woman is nude. Her eyes are closed. And she's in there. She's committed to it. She's holding on tight. And this is another nude woman. So again, the nude female is very representative for me of surrender. It's just letting go and doing as guided. In this case, listening. And very representative of both air and water for me, this card. And in particular of the air signs Aquarius, because the star and the tower represents the sign of Aquarius. This is a card of communication, but not just talking, also listening. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're also meant to see the Lovers. Major Arcana card 6. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Major Arcana card 6. The Lovers represents the sign of Gemini. Or perhaps the other air signs, Aquarius, Libra. You know what? Let's do I wasn't going to do the spread today, but I was just about to do a spread of 9, but I want to do the spread from the Divine Masculine's perspective. So let's do that. Divine Feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. As it relates to himself, his own feelings about himself, and the union or connection as a whole. Overall, what kind of energy the masculine would have the feminine give the union or connection this week, from the standpoint of love, what he himself is willing to, what the universe or would have each or both give and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will, and the outcome. Divine Feminine. It's another Hermit. Oh, wow. Again, Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit represents the sign of Virgo. This is our third one tonight thus far. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. Could be connected to the other earth signs as well. Capricorn, Taurus. Feminine may be the one needing to do the introspection and decide what it is she wants. So what her next step is, what her next move is. The masculine relates to the feminine. It is the Page of Air, logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. Page of Air represents the sign of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, but also could be Mercury energy itself. Mercury is, again, the ruler of Virgo as well. It's a card of communication, truth coming out, right? Pages bring news. This one brings news, right? Pages bring, like the Page of Pentacles, for example, brings news of finances and abundance, and like material abundance. The Page of Air brings news in terms of information, right? Communication. Maybe as a result of having, come to some new clarity, the feminine reaches out and communicates. Or maybe the masculine, I mean, it could go either way, really. Masculine reaching out to the feminine. Maybe that's why she needs to go within. I got to think about this. Hang on. Right? Masculine relates to himself and the union. It's another 10 of water or cups. So we just had the 10 of cups as an overall energy in the last spread, and we learned that it means we're on the same page. Like, we want the same things. Even if we're going about it differently, or we're at two different stages right now, or, moments in time in our life, we want the same things at the end of the day. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. You have trustworthy relationships. Right? You can trust. You want the same things. And the masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole this week is the magician. Manifesting, pulling that thing in. This is our second magician of the night too. Again, magician represents the sign of Gemini as well. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. And life is magical. Overall, the Knight of Earth, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. Knight of Earth, slow and steady progress. Always reaches his goal. Always successful. So, some others of us like to rush and get to the finish line or whatever, and maybe, run out of steam before we get there and we collapse. That's why he goes very steady, very consistent moves, very paced. It can get on people's nerves. Like, it can be so slow that it's irritating. But, trust that he's getting where he's supposed to go. He's going to be successful. What the masculine will have, what energy the masculine will have the feminine give to the union or connection this week in terms of love. It is the Two of Earth, the same card that the fire signs had before them. So this is our second Two of Pentacles too. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. One of the things that the masculine may want us to do, again, is to prioritize ourselves and the connection or union. And find time, for it. Or at least, again, finding time for yourself, maybe to do introspection. It's sitting here right underneath the Hermit, which also represents the feminine's energy or card this week. What the masculine himself is willing to give is Page of Water, Page of Cups. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. This is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And again, remember the Pisces' ruler, Neptune, does meet with Venus, one of Gemini's rulers, to Monday, the 27th. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase, and you have heightened psychic abilities. So this is about those relationships that are growing, that are deepening, or, again, meeting somebody new, a new experience coming in. Or the masculine in this placement giving love energy, and emotionally pleasant and happy energy, putting out something, maybe making, again, some sort of communication that's going to put a smile on your face or something like that. That's what he's willing to do this week. Sitting under the magician, it could be, I'm willing to, give positive love energy, to this cause, this manifestation. I'm willing to put some positive thoughts out there and focus intention on something very, very positive outcome for us. And like visualize success. Remember, Knight is always successful. what the universe would have either or both of us do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will, is the 10 of fire, like letting go of whatever's holding us back, whatever's burdening, laying down your burdens so that you will be lighter and able to move forward. Too much work. For some, this is literal. Again, we're working so much and we're putting, doing so much busy stuff that we have no time for ourselves or our relationships. That has to stop. Too much work. Accept help from somebody else if you need some, because life is out of balance. And this indicates that as well. That can lead to stress-related health concerns, like the need for D. Seriously though. Or, something worse. Also, high blood pressure and things, anxiety and stuff like that. When you become stressed out. And the outcome. Wow. Knight of Water, Knight of Cups. This is just, oh my goodness. It was the king in the page from the general, not the knight. Okay, but still, it's almost the same thing. The Knight of Water is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions. So that could be coming up for somebody. Or an invitation to a social event. Just be around friends, family, good times. Again, if you get invited to something, go. Find a way, find time for yourself, and go. The Knight of Water, often for me, somebody coming back. So just like I said about the Six of Cups can be about somebody. Oh, as a matter of fact, I forgot to put our overall energy back up here. It is the Six of Cups, indeed. This can be about somebody returning your life. The Knight of Cups can be about somebody returning to your life. This is reconciliation. If it's not reconciliation or somebody coming back into your life, this is, a new relationship and they're really interested in you. And they maybe even be asking you out on a date or something. Knight of Water comes up. Some of you, something even more serious. It says even wedding proposals. I felt they were showing me something underneath this Six of Cups. It is Major Arcana card Unity, or the Hierophant, which represents the sign of Taurus. Could be a lot of air and earth combinations this week coming together. Maybe specifically Taurus. Maybe specifically Gemini or Aquarius of the air. Not so much Libra necessarily. Of the water, definitely tons of Scorpio in the general. In this one, it's not very specific. I would say Pisces, though, because again, the 27th is that transit with Pisces' ruler. And the Page of Cups came up in both readings. I'm going to do another spread. So this is from the perspective of the masculine. I like to feel what that higher energy is thinking. But now we're going to do one from the perspective of the universe. As a reminder, our overall energy is Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit. Take time for contemplation, to retreat, to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment as well. Divine being or couple. This is for single people. This is for couple people. I mean, they all are. All the spreads I do. Just a reminder. Recent past, near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks the individual or shared progress. What the feminine can do to help herself. What the masculine can. What the universe would have each or both do to help them, ourselves. But again, we have to first affirm because we have free will and the outcome. So again, the overall energy is the Hermit, the energy of Virgo. Divine being or couple. It is Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Again, the Lovers represents the sign of Gemini. And perhaps these two together representing Mercury. Mercury, the ruler of both Virgo and Gemini. Recent past. The Princess of Summer. So it's another Page of Cups. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. So this could have happened already in the recent past or will happen early in the week, so that by the end of the week, something different is happening. Whatever this is, right? Near future. Ooh, conflict. 5 of Winter. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? This could be that indecision that's getting to you, right? The 2 of Swords showing up here in terms of you being conflicted. Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others also. Those others that you're worried about what they might think, they might not even be for you. Masculine's higher self. 5 of Summer or Cups. Womp womp. Fears. Focus. I can't read. I can't see this, the problem. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move forward, onward, and upward. So this is, again, about focusing on positive energy rather than negative, and maybe rather than some negative energy from the past that you were worried about repeating a mistake. And instead of moving beyond it, we're at risk of, manifesting a self-fulfilling prophecy. Blocks the individual or shared progress. 7 of Autumn. Being impatient is a block. And maybe that's why we push too hard and then we push stuff away and people away. The planning, resources, and efforts that you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. So rather than be pushy, we need to, again, let go with the flow. Believe that when you plant seeds, they grow. So there's no need to worry about this, no need to focus on this, no need to push. They're going to grow by themselves. What the feminine can do to help herself, though, despite that. Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor. Maybe taking back your power. Structure and organization are important right now. Like not being all over the place too. Yeah, just being organized. And setting boundaries. Remember the boundaries. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role. You may have to also lead the way. Show the masculine what to do. Show him the way. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role. You have much wisdom to offer. Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor, represents the signs of Aries and Scorpio. And the planet Mars, which rules them, the masculine planet of love. So a lot of love energy coming in. Mars, Venus, Neptune, and all represented right here. Mars, Venus, Neptune. What the masculine can do to help himself. The 4 of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. You also may be holding on to, again, either yourself because you're afraid to, take a leap and get out there again, afraid to, and give somebody your heart again or something like that. If you've been hurt in the past, that's one of the possibilities. And the other one is, again, being afraid about what others will think, or sometimes it's fear of being alone. So you're holding on to a crappy relationship instead of letting it go and moving on, either with somebody else or, by yourself, until you're ready to change that. This is like the 4 of Autumn or Pentacles for me is like, holding on to a funky relationship because, we split the bills or we split the kids or we, like that's the benefit of it. It's not because we're head over heels in love, and we could be maybe with somebody else, right? True and long lasting love. That's what we could have, but not as long as we're holding on to, long love that's been over just because it's, serves some sort of convenience. What the universe would have either or both of us do, but we have to first affirm because we have free will, is another Knight of Pentacles. The Prince of Autumn. Trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. Again, the Knight of Autumn or Prince of Autumn is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or someone like into those traits or attributes. There's a lot of masculine, according to these cards here, that are just afraid to move forward. And this is, look, this guy has a crown on. He's very divine looking. I know he's a prince, but still, he just looks very divine masculine as a seahorse is. I guess as much as a seahorse could possibly look that way. Yeah, but this Four of Pentacles coming up with the Knight of Pentacles. This is the impatience. But if the masculine's holding on to something, I don't see him as being the one that's impatient. This would have to be the feminine. And maybe that's why it's saying, like, maybe you need to just, you know, take some control of your own life, your own self. Like, don't let him hold you back if that's what you were. But if you want to move faster, then you move faster. But he's going at this pace. I can help you go at this pace, too. This is the card, the one that the universe wants to help us with. Slow and steady wins the race. That's how everything's going to work out. And the outcome. Outcome is good. Three of Summer or Cups. This is celebration. This is reconciliation. This is reunion. This is wedding. This is baby. This is something happy to celebrate, a happy occasion. This is us getting out and being social, right? Been invited to a social event. This is us taking somebody up on it. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. Further advice. Oh, we'll share it for everyone. It was that abundance card. So this is the second time they wanted us to see that. It's about the surrender. I think that's what they want us to see. Like, let go, surrender. And, you know, then that's how you're going to manifest this. That's how you're going to bring this earth energy toward you. And this is representing the energy of abundance. This could be Venus herself, too, in the form of the Knight of Pentacles. She is the ruler of the sign of Taurus. And we did see the Hierophant come up, which represents the sign of Taurus. From the Angel Tarot to the masculine, the Ace of Earth. Yes, that's that abundance. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, an important documents or contracts. So this is what wants to come to you so desperately. But you have to let go of what you're holding on to that doesn't fit, whether it's yourself because of your fears, or it's something, you know, a crappy relationship and that's in the way, that's taking up the space for this good one. You have to let go. Feminine, the Six of Fire. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. And this is that's about being successful. That could be what the cause for celebration is. In the element of fire, just like this Emperor is for us. Emperor could also be relating specifically to dealing with a married man. Some of us may be. Maybe that's what he's holding on to. Or even if he's divorced, he could still be holding on to old energy. He may actually be an Aries or Scorpio. We got the water and the fire. But again, ultimately, feminine victory here. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, the listening card also back. So again, this is not just about communication. It is about hearing each other out too. Like, you know, putting in the effort to listen, to pay attention, to hear somebody out and understand their perspective, like to really try. And it could be representative of an air sign or a water sign, most specifically that you're dealing with, you've been having this problem with, and maybe even more specific to that, and Aquarius. This card too, about co-creation and collaboration, working together. Representative of fire, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. as well as water, particularly Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and even air, right? The clouds and stuff, the white. And more so, again, Aquarius with this star, dead center on this angel's third eye chakra. The communication chakra is the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, and the throat chakra, all ruled by the air signs. This is about collaborating, like working together, learning how to work together, how to create together, and how to be patient as stuff builds. And lastly, from the animal tarot to the masculine, major arcana card 2, the high priestess. This is the time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. So if you really are indecisive, rather than just like try to brush it away, like the Two of Swords, this two says, use your intuition to figure it out. Use, what's your heart telling you, what's your soul telling you, what's your gut telling you. Use that to figure it out. What does your common sense say? What your street smart say? What's, your wisdom, your intellect. After you consider those things, then you decide what my next move is. And, maybe I'll share it and maybe I won't. High Priestess keeps a lot to herself until it plays out. This is a time to pause and reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. The High Priestess is a Gemini or perhaps a water sign. And lastly, it is another Six of Cups. So feminine, this is probably more so than you looking for somebody else or going out to somebody from your past. I mean, that's a possibility, but it's probably more so somebody from your past coming to you, resulting in some sort of happy reunion or reconciliation. The love and care of children could become an important part of your life. Right? That's another possibility for the Six of Cups. Or people from your childhood, not just your childhood, your past in general too, may return to it. Old memories can be healed. Maybe if we did have some hurt in the past, we can fix that. Or possibly old childhood dreams. Maybe you always dreamed about this man or woman. And now, there's an opportunity to make it happen. Those dreams are ready to be revived. I hope that you all have enjoyed the love reading. I will be back soon. Namaste.